Hi! If you're a fan of meticulously planning your moves, outsmarting your opponents, and building empires that stand the test of time, then you're in for a treat. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through the best strategy games ever created. From timeless classics that defined the genre to modern masterpieces that pushed the boundaries of strategic gameplay. Let's start with Age of Empires 2. This game was popular back when people believed a cactus near the computer would protect them from radiation, used ball mice, floppy disks, and dial-up internet. The premise is simple. You are the leader of one of 18 nations. Starting from the Stone Age, your goal is to develop and fight for dominance against other countries. Along the way, you research upgrades, unlock new types of troops, build structures, form alliances, and more. It's similar to Civilization, but in real time, offering extensive strategic and tactical possibilities. By the way, an excellent remaster was released in 2019, which you can see on screen. Supreme Commander 2 is an exceptional real-time strategy game that truly stands out in the genre. The game's strategic depth, combined with its impressive scale, provides a captivating experience for both new players and seasoned RTS veterans. The interface is user-friendly, making it easy to manage vast armies. The strategic zoom feature allows players to seamlessly shift from a macro to a micro perspective, giving an unparalleled sense of control over the battlefield. The campaign mode is engaging, with a well-crafted storyline. Each mission offers a unique set of challenges that require thoughtful planning and execution. Multiplayer mode is where Supreme Commander 2 truly shines. The diverse range of units and technologies allows for countless strategic possibilities, ensuring that no two matches are ever the same. The game's balance is well-tuned, rewarding both tactical ingenuity and adaptive thinking. Dune 2 is a classic real-time strategy game that has left an indelible mark on the genre. It remains a beloved title among RTS enthusiasts for its innovative gameplay and captivating narrative set in Frank Herbert's Dune universe. Dune 2 introduced many elements that have become staples in the genre, such as resource gathering, base building, and unit production. The story, inspired by the Dune series, is richly woven into the gameplay. Players choose to align with one of 3 houses, each with unique units and strategies. The game's graphics, though simple by today's standards, were groundbreaking at the time. The distinct visual style effectively conveys the harsh desert environment of Arrakis. Star Wars: Empire at War is an outstanding real-time strategy game that brilliantly captures the epic scale of the Star Wars universe. One of the game's most impressive features is its dual-layered gameplay, which combines strategic galactic conquest with tactical real-time battles. Players can command fleets and armies across a variety of iconic Star Wars locations, from the bustling metropolis of Coruscant to the barren deserts of Tatooine. The story-driven campaign mode allowing players to experience pivotal moments in the Star Wars saga. Whether you choose to lead the Rebel Alliance or the Galactic Empire, the narrative is engaging and well-crafted, featuring familiar characters and thrilling plot twists. In addition to the campaign, the Galactic Conquest mode offers immense replayability. Players can customize their strategies, manage resources, and engage in space and ground battles, all while striving for galactic domination. Disciples 2 is a turn-based strategy game that stands out for its dark, atmospheric fantasy world. The hand-drawn graphics are stunning, with detailed character designs and atmospheric landscapes that bring the dark fantasy world to life. Each faction has its own unique visual style. Players can choose from 4 distinct factions: the Empire, the Undead Hordes, the Mountain Clans, and the Legions of the Damned, each with its own units, strengths, and strategies. The ability to level up units and heroes adds an RPG-like progression. The game features 4 intertwined campaigns. The lore is well developed, and the quests are engaging with a variety of objectives. World in Conflict is a real-time strategy game that brilliantly blends tactical combat with a captivating narrative set in an alternate history where the Cold War turns into World War III. The game moves away from traditional base-building mechanics, focusing instead on dynamic battlefield tactics and real-time resource management. This shift allows for intense, fast-paced gameplay where strategic decisions are crucial and every skirmish can turn the tide of battle. The single-player campaign is engaging, featuring a gripping story with well-developed characters and dramatic cutscenes, while the multiplayer mode offers exhilarating team-based battles. Stellaris is a strategy game that continues to captivate players with its rich gameplay. The game masterfully divides its experience into 3 distinct phases: the early game, mid-game, and endgame. The early game focuses on exploration and colonization as you expand your civilization across uncharted space. Mid-game transitions into a period of diplomacy and conflict, with various civilizations interacting, forming alliances, and waging wars. In the endgame, players face serious threats that can jeopardize even the most powerful empires. These crises, which vary based on in-game events and actions, keep the gameplay fresh and engaging. Whether dealing with AI rebellions, interdimensional invaders, or ravenous swarms, players must adapt and strategize to survive and thrive. Anno 1800 is widely celebrated as the pinnacle of economic strategy games today. Its success stems from a masterful blend of historical context and intricate gameplay mechanics. The game's evolution over years of updates has transformed it into the most expansive and impressive entry in the series. Players will appreciate the detailed management of labor forces, complex production chains, and the strategic challenges of balancing resource needs across diverse regions. The addition of various DLCs further enriches the gameplay, introducing new territories, challenges, and narrative depth. Total War Shogun 2 is a blend of strategy and real-time tactics set during the turbulent Sengoku period of Japanese history. The main feature of this installment is its incredible design, captivating even years later. The fog of war is depicted as a paper map, the terrain is covered with vegetation and buildings, and generals have unique armor for easy identification. Before battles, generals give speeches, and colorful armored soldiers clash in the rain, illuminated by lightning, with local duels featuring beautifully fencing samurai. The expansion introduces firearms and cannons, shaking the ground and filling the battlefield with smoke. Master of Orion 2. This is a magnificent game that was essentially at the origins of the genre. It has everything a fan of the genre needs: race designer, ship construction, a variety of technologies, and an advanced AI, even by today's standards. Some may find the game archaic, which is not surprising considering it was released in 1996. Others might be dissatisfied with the small map, or some might smile indulgently at the sight of the primitive ground battles, but all of these are trivialities unworthy of attention. Master of Orion 2 is a cult classic grand strategy game with virtually endless replayability, a must-play for all fans of the genre. Majesty is a unique blend of strategy and simulation that breaks the mold of traditional RTS games. Instead of directly controlling units, players influence heroes through economic incentives. The game features a charming medieval setting, detailed character progression, and a variety of classes and buildings. Though the absence of direct control and some balance issues may initially confuse players, the innovative gameplay and engaging mechanics make Majesty a standout title in the genre. The Settlers 2. This game masterfully blends nostalgic elements with new features, offering intricate economic management and strategic colony building. One of the standout aspects of The Settlers 2 is its emphasis on balancing growth and exploration. The game encourages players to strategically expand their territories while maintaining efficient resource distribution and production chains. The game successfully honors the legacy of the original Settlers series while providing a fresh and engaging experience for strategy enthusiasts. Battlezone stands out as a unique blend of action and strategy, offering a first-person perspective on commanding units and managing resources. Players can directly control combat units, issuing commands such as attacking enemies, holding positions, and following your lead. This dynamic combination of FPS and RTS elements creates an immersive experience where players can seamlessly switch between piloting vehicles and running on foot, ensuring non-stop engagement even after their vehicle is destroyed. What sets Battlezone apart is the player's ability to continue fighting and commanding after ejecting from a destroyed vehicle. You can roam the battlefield as an infantry soldier and order any allied unit to pick you up, maintaining your influence over the ongoing battle. SpellForce, The Order of Dawn, combines RTS and RPG elements in an innovative way. You play as a rune warrior who can specialize in different skills like melee combat or magic. The game features detailed base building and resource management, typical of RTS games, alongside character development and questing from RPGs. The story begins with the cataclysm caused by the Circle Mages, leading to a fragmented world connected by portals. As the Rune Warrior, your mission is to thwart a dark mage, navigating through beautifully designed environments and engaging in strategic battles. The dual gameplay modes and intricate plot make it a memorable experience. Battle of the Middle-earth 2. Unlike its predecessor, which strictly followed Peter Jackson's film trilogy, this sequel dives into Tolkien's broader universe, introducing new factions like goblins and dwarves. Players can now engage with iconic characters such as Glorfindel and Gloin, exploring new locations and engaging in battles that were only hinted at in the books and films. The game's mechanics have also seen significant improvements. Players can build structures anywhere on the map, offering strategic flexibility. The inclusion of naval units and battles adds another layer of complexity, requiring players to adapt to different combat scenarios. The campaign mode, split into good and evil sides, offers varied perspectives on the war in Middle-earth, each with its unique units and abilities. Dawn of War Dark Crusade. Almost every project from the developers at Redux significantly contributes to the development of strategy games, with the Dawn of War series standing out in particular. For this list, I chose Dark Crusade, as we believe it is the best game in the entire series, despite being a spin-off. This is due to the well-balanced races, the large number of maps, the solid tactically based campaign, the decent storyline, and the presence of 7 playable races, the main ones being the Brutal Necrons, with their unique main building and playstyle. Each race has its own storyline. Another feature is the global map Cronus, the planet where the action takes place. It is divided into 12 regions, and during the game, you must capture all enemy provinces with your chosen race. Commander upgrades were also added. Otherwise, it's the same Dawn of War. Cossacks Back to War. One of the best, if not the best, RTS that has stood the test of time. Since 2002, people have been playing it, discovering new mechanics. The game has a low entry threshold but is hard to master. Cossacks largely position themselves as a game where the economy, though an important part of the overall picture, has its main highlight in the introduction of combat operations. These are very spectacular, especially with the maximum limit of 8,000 units on the map. In such battles, tactics are essentially the main advantage and a factor for victory. The game also features very interesting campaigns that are significantly different from each other. In one, you fight with a single squad against an entire army, while in another, you storm a fortress with a huge army. If this ever gets boring, there's an excellent map editor. Stronghold Crusader. The game was released almost 20 years ago, but it still remains popular because Stronghold is a unique genre mix among strategies, combining large-scale solo wars with base building and a city-building simulator with state management. All aspects of the game complement each other organically. It's a game for those who have always dreamed of becoming a lord and owning their own castle. You need to gather resources, build production buildings, organize acceptable living conditions for the population, deal with sudden problems, and fight enemies. In 2013, an HD edition was released, which, in addition to improved graphics, added new buildings and increased the maximum number of units from 1,000 to 10,000, making the battles even more spectacular. Total War Rome 2. All releases in this series combine several important features: colossal battles involving thousands of soldiers, realistically and accurately recreated historical eras, and a division of the game into a strategic part with territory capture and diplomacy, and a real-time tactical part. Total War is still going strong, but we believe the series shone the brightest in Total War Rome 2, but only in the Emperor Edition, not the bug-ridden release version. The goal of the game is simple: capture the regions marked as campaign objectives. However, this is not a simple strategy game. It includes tactical battles that help advance on the global map. There is internal faction politics that complicates life if not managed. Diplomacy can make the game easier, and there is a building element in captured cities. Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne. 17 years later, this strategy game remains one of the most popular. Projects like World of Warcraft and Dota grew out of Warcraft. Although this RTS did not introduce anything radically new to the genre, it features standard gameplay with base building, unique races, and units. But it is presented so well. The epic campaign, with one of the best storylines in strategy game history, told through impressive cutscenes and dozens of colorful characters, is worth mentioning. Red Alert 2. In our opinion, Red Alert 2 is the pinnacle of the series. All the best elements have been brought together and refined to near perfection here. The units are marvelously balanced, each excelling in one area while conceding in another. There's a wide selection of vibrant and interesting maps, filled with diverse buildings that can be occupied by infantry as fortifications or simply captured for special bonuses. But what truly makes Red Alert 2 the greatest game in the series is the design of the armies. Each faction has its own extensive set of unique units, each with its own application. For example, prism tanks that link together to increase their power, mirage tanks that disguise themselves as trees, and flying discs that steal money. StarCraft 2. Another iconic RTS from Blizzard, and in this case, popularity doesn't detract from the quality of the game. The original StarCraft managed to build and perfect a gameplay foundation, offering several unique races and units, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. 9 years later, this foundation gave rise to the sequel StarCraft 2. While it didn't bring significant innovations, it refined the existing mechanics, significantly improved graphics, and overall quality. It retained the same character development, a coherent and captivating story, heroic figures with large blades and guns, and a global-scale threat. By the way, if anyone doesn't know yet, since 2017, these games have become completely free to play and can be downloaded from battle.net. Civilization 5. Over its nearly 30-year history, the Civilization series has earned a reputation as a true forge, tirelessly producing some of the best turn-based strategy games, where we take on the role of a god building a civilization from its very foundations to a superpower. Civilization offers such a rich and complex gameplay experience that newcomers to strategy games might easily get dizzy from the plethora of options. However, the game is fairly easy to grasp and can appeal even to those who aren't strategy fans. Rise of Nations is an RTS that spans a lengthy time period, starting from the early Stone Age and advancing to modern technologies. In Rise of Nations, you will gather resources, construct various types of buildings, research technologies, and recruit and develop an army. The game also features wonders of the world, national borders, and several victory conditions. The main focus is on war and spectacle, although the economic component is equally important. The game includes 18 nations, each with its own unique advantages that aid in development. For easier launch on new systems, an extended edition with improved graphics was released in 2014. Spore is comparable in scale to No Man's Sky in the world of strategy games. Essentially, Spore is a god simulator. In this strategy game, we create a civilization and lead it from a cellular state to a super race freely exploring space. The main feature of Spore is that each stage of civilization development offers unique gameplay. Cell stage, the initial stage of evolution in the game where only the strongest survive. Creature stage, moving onto land and creating a unique species that gradually evolves. Tribal stage, at this stage, Spore resembles familiar building strategies like Age of Empires, gathering resources, building an army, and raiding competing tribes. Civilization stage, the gameplay at this stage is similar to strategy games like Civilization, expanding against competing states using both force and diplomacy. Space stage, the final stage where we head to the stars. The main goal of the last stage is to reach the center of the galaxy while visiting thousands of randomly generated star systems along the way. Heroes of Might and Magic 3, a cult classic game that is now 25 years old but remains relevant and continues to be the benchmark for many turn-based strategy fans. The formula for success is simple: 8 unique races, excellent balance, straightforward and uncluttered gameplay, and a vast scope for tactics due to numerous nuances. One of the most important features is the need to build your own state, search for valuable resources, travel through a danger-filled world, and an abundance of RPG elements. The hero here is not just a statistic. They actively participate in battles by using magic and equipping unique items that enhance their army. Hearts of Iron 4, one of the best historical tactical real-time strategy games. As usual with Paradox, here we can play as any country, fully managing its diplomacy, politics, scientific research, economy, and military machine. The gameplay covers the historical period from 1936 to 1948, focusing on the preparation for World War II, the war itself, and the post-war tensions. Each nation has its own technology branches and national focuses, along with unique strengths and weaknesses. You need to establish the production of weapons, aircraft, artillery, tanks, and more. The production system itself is intricate and interesting, requiring thoughtful planning. Overall, the game is another excellent creation from Paradox that every strategy enthusiast must play. Mechanically, Homeworld is a phenomenal strategy game with a fully three-dimensional gameplay space. It was among the first in the genre to break away from a single plane. In Homeworld, we participate in large-scale space battles, commanding hundreds of types of combat ships. During battles, you can choose combat formations and use various tactics to minimize fleet losses. The game also features several races, each with its unique ships. Overall, Homeworld is a great representative of the RTS genre from past years, and in 2015, a remaster was released, which became a true gift for all fans. The re-release included both the first and second parts of the game with updated graphics and support for high resolutions. XCOM 2, the sequel to the turn-based tactical game with RPG elements, which has gained huge popularity. The game impresses from the first glance. XCOM 2 is very different from the first part, both conceptually and in terms of gameplay. In the first game, we fought a full-scale war against the invaders, while in the second game, we are guerrillas resisting the aliens. Previously, enemies were mostly cannon fodder, but now they have become stronger, smarter, and more annoying. They target your most vulnerable soldiers and do not hesitate to use all their abilities. The developers also offered an original storyline and dynamic missions with unpredictable conditions. It's really interesting to develop the airborne fortress, conduct research, and equip soldiers. Firaxis has created an excellent game, a worthy sequel to the series that is fun to play and, most importantly, worth returning to. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know which strategy game is your all-time favorite or if there are any hidden gems you think deserve a spot on the list.